All right, everybody, I'm coming in with Coach.
Hey, Coach, we'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Just talk about the balance of scoring you got tonight. I guess in particular, Ariel and Crystal off the bench, they were both really big in the second half.
Yeah.
When did you know that Ariel was going to be available, and how did you think she looked in her first action in 9.5 weeks?
So it was after the second Connecticut game. Chuck came to me and said that Ariel wanted to play the next game. It was a little ahead of schedule, a little than what we were initially planning. And I just let them decide those things, and it helps me plan a little bit. Just in terms of making decisions if she is available, how we want to. It affects our rotation, obviously. I wanted to make sure that it was also small doses for AP and nothing too much. And then the balance, this is what you hope for. This was, that stretch with Crystal, our group, end of the third, into the fourth. That was just what you hope for. That you can leave your starters on the bench as long as you can, get those extended minutes from that group. And obviously, Crystal, had a really good stretch there for us offensively. Not just putting the ball in the hole, but I thought she was making good reads. I thought she was getting where we wanted her to get. I thought she played well the whole game, but that's when she really kind of unloaded offensively. But the balance, AP helping us, being aggressive. We know that's what she's going to do for us. She's going to be aggressive, get to the paint, just make physically tough plays, and that's what this game became. So we thought it was important. That's why we made the substitution towards the end. Make sure we continue to get our pressure at the rim from somebody other than Sil, somebody other than Fee, because that just makes it really difficult for the two of them.
And then obviously, so much of the talk the last couple of days has been free throws or the lack thereof. Tonight, I think you got a season high in both attempts and makes. And I think you had, after getting 17 in 2 games in Connecticut, you got 16 in the fourth quarter tonight. I mean, that was in a game that was even in so many other areas. That was the difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, when you actually call, when somebody puts hands on you, that's what happens. And like I said, we're in the top 4 now, top 5 in free throw rate. So it stands to reason. Both teams play through the paint. Neither team got it done as far as defending the paint. I mean, both teams were probably, pretty disappointed in terms of being able to protect the paint. But yeah, when you play through the paint and when you have physically tough players, and I thought that, I can't speak to, why one crew can see what's happening and why the ones in Connecticut didn't. I can't help on that, but I thought we were aggressive. We put ourselves in a position to be fouled.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. I know you spoke about AP a little bit, but I was just wondering if you could speak a bit about how just the emotional lift of having a full roster in this game for the team, how that kind of provided energy.
I don't necessarily know that there was any intangible emotional lift because players really, were kind of unaware. We haven't practiced, and I wasn't quite sure, what we were going to do, even though she was available. Because it's that balancing act of we got some good things going on, and so how do you work AP in there and do it in small enough doses where it's beneficial and doesn't hurt us. And so I don't think there was any sort of lift. I think the lift was that the bench was productive. I think that's the lift. And like I said, that was the separation in the game. Both starting groups, in particular their backcourt, had it going on, and we needed help somewhere else, and we were able to get it.
Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. First, how are you feeling today? How are you doing today?
I'm sorry?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. You, Leo?
All right. Second, I just want to follow up. So, obviously it's AP's first game back. And secondly, there was a portion, I think, in the fourth quarter where Sil kind of grabbed at her hand. And so I just wanted to ask you, did you receive any updates on the health of all the players? How are they feeling post game? Is there any updates?
Yeah, it's too soon after the game. I know that, Still's hurting. I've lost track of days and shoot arounds, but I don't know if it was the one in Connecticut or the one here. I think it was here this morning, actually. We had another situation, it's just going to be, it's just one of those things. It's just going to be bothering her. But I don't think it affected her play. I know that it's hurting her, but she was pretty darn good for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any last questions for Coach Kent?
With still, it's that same finger that she dislocated, right? It's just continuing
It
kind of
is.
getting bumped around and stuff.
Yeah, even though it's taped, it's just, Sill's life. She's physical. She's involved in screening and posting, and there's constantly somebody around her. So I just think it's one of those things that's going to be problematic for the rest of the season until, she can get away from basketball. But she's playing through it, and hopefully that'll continue to be the case.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Hey, everybody, I'm coming in with AP now.
Hey, AP, welcome back. We'll get
Hey.
started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Coach said that you basically told him you were going to play after that second Connecticut game. Came back a little early. How did you feel, and how neat was it to be kind of such a big factor in such a big game?
It was big. I felt good. We went on the trip knowing we had Connecticut twice. So I was kind of begging Claire to get some extra gym time because I wanted to see how my thumb was feeling. And when I did that, it felt pretty good. Afterwards, it was sore, but not painful like it had been. And then I did shoot around with the girls, and I was able to do a lot, and then warmed up with them. And after 2 days, that's basically 2 days back to back after coming home. From Minnesota when it was hurting. This time it wasn't hurting. So I'm like, Coach, I'm ready. I'm trying to play. It's sore, but we can work through soreness. Pain is another story. So I was like, I'm playing. I'm ready to go. So she was excited, and I was too.
You and Crystal did so much for these guys late third into the fourth.
Yeah.
How important do you think the bench was in this one?
It was very important. I think during that stretch that you're talking about, basically in the beginning of the fourth, if I remember, we had some back-to-back stops and buckets. And I think that kind of uplifted the team a little bit, like gave them a break, the starters a break, and then us being able to keep that energy out there just as if we were starters. So it was great. It was great.
Thank you.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Ariel. I was just wondering if you could speak a bit about Laisha's play in the first quarter and just kind of how that got you all off to a good start.
She's a good player. I've been wanting to play with her since she came to the team. Her drive holds are amazing. Not only is she seeing the floor during that time, she's also able to score. And I think in the first half, she had like about 11 points. And it was all of her drive holds. So it kind of started opening things up for us. And it was really, really big to start the game off that way.
Leo, go ahead.
AP, there was a interesting little moment near the end where you and Kalia got in a little jump ball situation and you guys were kind of going at it just a little bit, just being competitive. But, where does your fire and edge come from? Because we saw that all night, even that last block you had on Steph.
Yeah, I think it's just the kind of person I am. I think that's the kind of person that my parents have bred. My dad was in the Marines. He was very tough on me. So that aggressive energy mentality I have, it's just within me. I've had it since I was a little girl. And when the little jump ball happened, I was trying to get my hand out at first, but then I felt like she was holding on. My hand was stuck. Felt like she was kind of trying to punk me. And that doesn't happen.
Well, thank you.
Cindy, go ahead.
Hi, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You have 6 of your next 7 games at home, starting with Seattle, and now full, no restrictions on the number of fans. How important do you think the home field advantage will be in the home stretch?
It's going to be big. I can't wait to play in front of the fans. They had a little snippet of us and me, myself. I've been out for a while, so I cannot wait to be back home in Minnesota. But during the stretch, that's going to be huge for us. It's hard to play against teams away, and our fans are so great that they're going to make it and we're going to make it even harder. And that's going to help us going into that playoff run. We need those games big.
Thank you.
Any last questions for Ariel? Alrighty, thank you, AP.
Bye. Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, AP. Welcome back.
All right, thank you. See you.
Coming in.
I was gonna say the free throws.
Hey, Leisha, congrats on the win. We'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, after the frustrations of Connecticut, coach was talking about how nice it was to get the whistles when you guys are getting hit. I mean, tonight, after getting 17 in 2 games, you get a season high 33 attempts tonight. How, I mean, in a game that was this back and forth, how important was it to actually get to the free throw line?
It was super important. I mean, we know Chicago fouls a lot too. I think they're one of the worst teams in the league at giving up fouls, but it felt good to drive to the paint, draw the contact, and then actually get the whistles. That's a big part of what we do is getting into the paint. So it felt really good. It was nice to shoot more than 10 free throws.
You had the big start for this team. The bench, it's particularly Crystal and Ariel did so much late third into the fourth. Can you just talk about how important their contributions were?
Yeah, I was like cheering I feel like I'm losing my voice. I was cheering so loud. It was huge. I said this in the last game against Connecticut, like you need your bench. I was so happy to see Crystal get her rhythm again, like that bounce raise is her pull up. She's really good at it. And I think she's going to make a long career in this league out of that ability to hit that shot. And so it was nice to see her get going. And when she stopped and shot the 3 behind the screen and like took her time, I just like screamed and was so excited. So, lineups go different ways, different games, players get, different amount of minutes. And so it was really good to see our bench get their rhythm kind of back. And that was a difference maker in the game for us.
Thank you.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, kind of following up on that, Lay, could you talk a bit about AP coming back and just how having a full roster was kind of an emotional lift going into this one?
Yeah, AP's energy is like, it's infectious. She's like that fighter. And I think that little piece where you need that person who's just like, fuck that, we're not going to lose, right? Like she's going to scrap. She's going to find extra possessions. She's that other player that can get into the paint for us. So it was really nice to have her back and what she can do on the court, but like what she brings are those intangibles and that toughness. And that's what I really felt tonight was her energy. And so I'm excited. That was the first full game I think we played together. So I was like, hey, it's nice to actually be with you. She got hurt right when she came back when I was finally on the team.
Thanks.
Any last questions for Leisha? Alrighty, thank you, Lay.
Thanks, y'all.